this is Amy Warden with Great Cake Soapworks, and we're already on week 7 of the weekly soap challenges. This week we're going to be creating a gradient colored soap, which means that it will be darkest on the bottom, and with each layer it will get lighter and lighter. This is kind of a fun method, and I've actually already made my gradient soap, and it took me a lot longer than I thought it would. It usually takes a little bit of extra time to make a gradient soap just because you have to wait for each layer to set up before you can put the next layer on top. Well, I timed this one, and from the time I started pouring until the time I put that last layer on top took me almost an hour and a half. So I think part of that has to do with the fact that I was soaping with room temperature oils and lye solution. I also had a very easy fragrance to work with, and I didn't discount my water very much at all. So those 3 things combined just really made the soap move really slowly, and I just had to wait a long time between each layer in order to pour the next one on. So I just want to warn you up front what could happen with your soap, that it could take quite a while, so you might want to plan some time for it. But at the same time, if you don't use a fragrance that will move slowly, you're going to run into trouble. So make sure that you do have plenty of time to play. So I'll show you what I made. So today I'm going to be making a green tea and bamboo gradient soap. And this is just my oils, and here is my lye. I'm going to pour those in. Combine them. I have not put my fragrance in just yet. Being a green tea and bamboo soap, you can guess that my color is going to be green. And maybe because you can see my little bowl of colorant here. This is half a teaspoon of golden green mica with half a teaspoon of French green clay with a little bit of water added. And I wanted to make this one a little bit different. So I chopped up the scraps from my Nag Champa soap, really fine pieces here, and I don't know how this is going to work exactly because obviously this is a solid color that will be dispersed in there and it's not going to get any lighter throughout the soap. But I wanted to just try something different, so we'll see how it turns out. Well, this is the tricky part about the gradient soap. You have to have it thick enough that when you pour your next layer it's not going to sink through, but it's got to be thin enough that you're still going to be able to get your layers poured before it sets up. So obviously you need to have a fragrance that's going to behave, or you'll never make it all the way to the top of your mold with the soap. So the way I did this before was to pour off 1 cup of soap first, without any fragrance in it, add all of the color that I was going to add, still not too thick here, in they go. It's going to make it interesting, nothing else. Okay, now it's time to add the fragrance, and then we'll add some titanium dioxide. I could not find any notes on the supplier's website about this fragrance. I don't think they're selling it anymore, so really hoping that it's going to be safe, not discolor too much. It sounds like a very mild fragrance. It's not floral at all, it's just really fresh and clean. I asked my Facebook people which scent I should use for this soap, and there was a very loud outcry for green tea and bamboo, so just want to make sure the titanium dioxide gets dispersed in there. Looks good. Okay. the first layer. Just going to add, let's see if I can find my 2-cup mark. Another cup of this white soap to the cup I already have, except I put those soap chunks in there too, so that kind of offsets it a little bit. Whole idea being that I will have 2 cups of soap in here. I will pour off 1 cup for a layer and then add another cup of the lighter soap, pour another layer, and just keep going, and it'll just get lighter and lighter as it goes to the top. I'm just not sure what the little soap chunks are going to do exactly. It's not setting up very fast at all. So at the very beginning, seems like you kind of have to wait for that first layer to set up, maybe even the first couple layers, till the soap starts thickening up a little bit. I'm gonna let this set up for a bit and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I know it hasn't been any time for you, but it's been at least 10, probably 12 minutes for me. I checked my email and Facebook. I got my dishwasher emptied and reloaded, and I think it's finally ready to pour. You can see this is still really fluid, and when I tip my mold, it's not really moving anymore, so I think that's a good sign. I didn't tip it too far, but you know. Now, this is the tricky part. I think I'm gonna get a spoon. Oh, nope, look at that. Sinking right through still. Guess I have a little more time to play. It's now been almost 20 minutes, I think, since I poured that first layer. Let's try this again. There, now it's sitting on top. This is a good project that you want to keep a paper towel handy to wipe up drips. Just gonna wait a few more minutes before I pour the next layer. Here goes layer number 3. Nope, it's sinking in. I have to wait a little bit longer. Here we go again. 3rd layer. Still a little iffy. No, I think I'm gonna wait. 3rd layer. 3rd try. I think I'm ready to pour layer 4. Let's give it a little test here. Yeah, I think that'll work. It'll have to, because my girls are going to be home from school soon and I need to get this finished up. Okay, what are we on? 5? 4? I can't remember. I think 5. I think we're on layer 6. Okay, I think one more layer ought to do it. Finally putting on the last layer. Well, that was the slowest moving fragrance I have ever worked with in my life, I think. This soap is still fluid. I started this project, started pouring it at 2:48. I looked at the clock just to see. It is now 4:12. So, do the math. That's like, what, an hour and 20 minutes? Something like that? So anyway, this is definitely an exercise in patience if I ever had one. Not all of your gradient soaps are going to be this slow, but do plan on having to wait between the layers to pour at least a little bit, probably, especially at the first, until the soap starts getting a little bit thicker. But anyway, I'm really anxious to see what it looks like when it's cut, and to see how all those little soap pieces disperse throughout the soap. I have a feeling most of them are towards the bottom, and I'll just have a couple at the top. So anyway, I will see you Saturday.